What's up, everybody? Mr. OG Games here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys an Elite War that we fought yesterday. And I wanted to show a few tactics that we tried to implement, we did implement, and some things where we could have capitalized a little early on. So in this Elite War clip, I'll be sharing some pictures with kind of some directional arrows that I'll explain once we get to that, to show you what I mean about the way that it could have went, or the way that we could have capitalized on them a little earlier. So here's the beginning of the Elite War, starting off like any other, just to give you a breakdown play by play. It was a matter of marching to your own. At this point, I did see where they were taking the high route, and I had already scouted their castle, and well, it was time to go to low route, but unfortunately we didn't have the people to speed at this time with the attack that was made. So that's kind of why you see me sitting all by my lonesome there. And I knew we had plenty in the main castle there to take them out if needed. But moving on down to get more positioned, I realized that, hey, I might as well go back. I knew they weren't going to take it even if I wasn't there, but let's start the strategy over. So saving the main castle there, once again taking the lower route. The enemy seemed to want to just play that upper hand. And here is the first example where we could have capitalized a little bit more. If I had a couple guys come down with me, you can see there are at least 3 or 4 we could have came down and shot up while tying them up in the middle. Unfortunately, that didn't quite play out the way we needed it. And here's another example here where we could have ended a little sooner if we would have taken our main force, hung them up in front of the castle, and then shot up that side. We could have also snuck in with the guys that we had to take out what they had in their main castle. So a couple missed opportunities, but that's to be expected sometimes. You know, in this game, to speed half 50% is 500 gold. So it can get kind of costly when you're speeding in. You can blow 3 or 4 thousand gold in just a matter of a couple clicks if you're not watching yourself. Coming up on the end here, they decided to come down to the bottom of the map for once to try that out on us. And we're coming up to the next little clip of tactic that could have been used. You can see we flank up into the middle of it. They have left their whole top right and middle section vulnerable. And as you can see, as long as we grouped there and sped in and held them out at that very first base number 1, we also could have capitalized. We just got in too staggered, too late, and we weren't as effective one-on-one, even though we had been chopping them down. So coming up on a couple other examples here, at this point, the flanks, I was still trying to get around that flank. I'm coming up on the last time that this could have possibly worked here. You can see our main force is in the middle of the map right here. If somebody didn't move and pull those 2 guys down, we could have jumped, skipped, and hopped right to them with our main force either attacking the high road or the low road, and we could have had possibly another shot at taking it out instead of dragging it down to who held the most bases. And from this point forward, you can see we're kind of stretched out. We know that it's going to be a cat and mouse game, so at this point it's all about holding the amount of bases that's needed. And in any event like this, you want to keep a good front row, 1 in each base behind you, and keep that main line protected. Let them come hit you when they're divided, and it should play out. As you can see on the bottom there, we're just exchanging back and forth. I don't we knew that they didn't have a snowball's chance of doing anything against our main castle back there. And I think they knew the same at the time. A couple of them got trapped, and we advanced even more bases. With them really not being able to do much at that number 1 base, it was just a matter of, tying them up, taking them out if we can, hold the line in the middle of the map, and let them try to push through us while pulling from the back castles, or the back bases, I'm sorry, up to the front line, which will ultimately just hold that line. Now at this point they did hold the center castle, but moves were made at the bottom that wasn't going to last very long at all. And as you can see, we just basically pin them down back and forth to hold that line. The line I'm referring to, I'll show you another picture here in just a second, but you want to make sure that you're going to capitalize on the bases the most. So just hold a line down the middle. The main, middle, and back, you've already got one base to your advantage. And then around the 2-minute mark like we have right now, go ahead and push forward, secure all the bases, pull up, leaving one behind, and ultimately you seal the deal. And that's in fact what we did. They just never had a chance to even progress any more than what they did. So that's the strategies that I like to use. I wanted to show them in some examples of what maybe could have been done. Now don't get me wrong, we all worked well together. We all were on the same page. I think the speeding in this game is just too expensive. It can rack up really quick, and unless you've got the bankroll to take the gold to each elite war, strategy is always key, and holding bases or marching is one. Doing it in times, make sure everybody is on the same page, and it's usually best to always have one commander, of course. That way things aren't getting pushed and pulled and everybody's going in their own direction. It's like herding cats. It's just really hard to get everything down. So having a designated commander always is the best way to go in any elite war, or any battle for that matter. But if you guys like the video, smash the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, y'all keep gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.